Mexico: conquest, collapse, and reinvention. Mexico is a country built on layers of history. It is a land where ancient civilizations rose to extraordinary heights, where conquest reshaped society forever, and where revolution defined national identity. Mexico's story is not one of simple progress. It is a story of destruction and survival, loss and reinvention, and a constant struggle to define what the nation truly is. This is the history of Mexico. Long before Europeans arrived, the land that is now Mexico was home to some of the most advanced civilizations in the ancient world. These societies developed complex cities, advanced agriculture, astronomy, mathematics, and powerful religious traditions. Among them were the Olmec, Maya, and later the Mexica, known today as the Aztecs. By the early 16th century, the Aztec Empire dominated central Mexico from its capital, Tenochtitlan, a vast city built on a lake and connected by causeways. Its population rivaled that of the largest cities in Europe, and its political and military power was unmatched in the region. But this world was about to collapse. In 1519, Spanish conquistador Hernán Cortés arrived on the Mexican coast with a small force. What followed was not a fair fight between equals, but a collision between worlds. European diseases devastated indigenous populations who had no immunity. Spanish weapons and horses shocked native armies. Local rivals of the Aztecs allied with the invaders. In 1521, Tenochtitlan fell. The Aztec Empire was destroyed and Spanish rule began. This conquest did not merely change who governed the land. It transformed language, religion, culture, and identity forever. Spain ruled Mexico, then known as New Spain, for nearly 3 centuries. During this period, indigenous traditions blended with Spanish culture to form a new society. Catholicism replaced native religions, but indigenous beliefs survived beneath the surface. Spanish became dominant, but native languages endured. A rigid social hierarchy developed, placing Spaniards at the top and indigenous people at the bottom. Mexico became one of the richest colonies in the Spanish Empire, but that wealth flowed outward to Europe. For most people, life was defined by inequality and exploitation. By the early 19th century, Spanish control weakened. Inspired by revolutions elsewhere, Mexican independence movements emerged. In 1810, a Catholic priest named Miguel Hidalgo called for rebellion. His uprising was eventually crushed, but the idea of independence could not be destroyed. After years of struggle, Mexico achieved independence in 1821. However, independence did not bring stability. The 19th century was a period of turmoil for Mexico. Governments rose and fell rapidly, and internal divisions weakened the state. Mexico lost vast territories to the United States following war in the 1840s, permanently shaping its national memory. Foreign powers interfered repeatedly, including a French invasion that briefly installed a European emperor. Mexico survived, but it paid a heavy price. By the early 20th century, inequality reached a breaking point. A small elite controlled land and power, while millions lived in poverty. In 1910, revolution erupted. What followed was a decade of violence that reshaped the country. Revolutionary leaders promised land reform, workers' rights, and national dignity. Millions died, but the old order was destroyed. Out of this chaos emerged a new Mexican state built on revolutionary ideals. During the 20th century, Mexico stabilized under a strong central government. Industry expanded, cities grew, and a distinct national identity formed. Mexico emphasized sovereignty, cultural pride, and independence from foreign control. At the same time, corruption and inequality persisted beneath the surface. Modern Mexico is a nation of contrasts. It is culturally rich, deeply historic, and globally influential. It also faces challenges related to inequality, migration, and violence. Mexico's identity is shaped by its past. Ancient civilizations, colonial trauma, revolution, and resilience all live within the modern nation. Mexico was conquered, broken, and reshaped, yet it never lost its soul. Its history is not about purity or perfection. It is about survival through transformation. Mexico stands today as proof that even after collapse, a nation can reinvent itself and endure. If you want to learn the history of every country that exists today, subscribe to this channel. Which country should I cover next?